What is up guys, Sharpwind here, and today I'm gonna fix my rain tutorial. So if you've been following my channel, you probably know that I have a failed rain tutorial attempt. You can click the eye in the corner to go see it right now. Anyway, today's tutorial was requested and voted on my Discord server. If you want to suggest your own tutorials, I recommend you join it because it's a lot of fun. And while the first idea was initially going to be a lightning tutorial, I kind of do have a failed rain tutorial. I want to combine the both to give you a thunderstorm tutorial. Before I begin, I want to ask you to hit the subscribe button because it helps me out as a channel a lot. And I'm sorry I'm not as active as I used to be, but I kind of have a lot of work at the moment. That might change in the future, but it's not guaranteed, so let's hope for the best. Without any further ado, let's begin the thunderstorm tutorial. Okay, yeah, no, wait. One more thing, I did notice this issue that I had been using outdated versions of mine-imator. Yeah, that's because I have unfinished projects in the older versions. Therefore, some of my tutorials were outdated, like for example, this one. I never liked it anyway. But yeah, for this tutorial, I'm using the newest 1.2.0 pre-release, so it's all new, it's guaranteed to work. I forgot about the factor. So yeah, I want to make a new project, call it Thunderstorm. Okay, so when I start a new project, first things first, I gotta import my mountain schematic. Anyway, how are we gonna do this? Well, first things first, light is very diffused. So if I come back to background, let's bring up the sunlight range, so it's about like this. Sunlight strength is a new feature here. We're gonna test this out as well. First I want to drop down to the colors panel and click on the sunlight color. It should be very diffused, so let's bring this down. So look, this looks like a nice, it's like a cloudy weather thing. Like if you want to go for rain, let's go for more bluish rain lighting or diffused clouds. Ambient should be a bit darker, maybe not too much, because it should be diffused again. So let's try to find that perfect match. This looks like a nice dark rain settings here. Let's go for remove clouds. Now the sunlight strength is something you want to put back to 0% because this looks too bright. Like this is burned out. This is a rain tutorial. We gotta keep it dark. Now what we need are thunderclouds basically. So I want to open my friend Google, and Google is my best friend. So if I go to images, overcast sky texture, you get a ton of hits. If you go down here, click the tools and the color, you can select the type of color you want. So, okay, maybe overcast, wait, any color, overcast rain sky texture, maybe cloudy, dark clouds. Browse for the perfect image. Okay, I found something. I searched for dark overcast sky texture. No special treats under the tools though. I found this one, which is Hdr Skydome. So this is perfectly made for a sphere texture. So we're gonna use that. I'm gonna save it on my desktop, save it as sky. The resolution is low though, so you wanna go for something more high quality. There's some guy who has a lot of those. I'm not sure. You can ask around the community because people have a lot of those. Like I spotted a lot of those images. I wanna make a new sphere. Call the sphere sky, so you know what it is. Invert it, so now you can see the insides of the sphere. Let's put the sphere in the center of the world. Maybe even lock the sphere onto your scenery, so when you move the scenery, the sky will move with it. If I come down to the sphere, you see the custom rotation point is down at the bottom. Put the custom rotation point to 0, 0, 0, so now it's in the center, in the very center of the sphere. Now go for scale and scale it up. Now you are inside of your sphere, like this is now your sky. Let's move it sideways a bit so the mountains here don't look as trapped and caged, so they're more freely and the sky looks far away. Now go under the texture of the sky and browse for the texture you just saved. So yeah, this is pretty, the quality is not the best, but then again you want to search for something better. Now let's adjust the colors so it matches our scene. So let's go for darker. Sure looks like a night setting. This looks pretty nice. Like so. Maybe decrease the sunlight range or something. If we put that to 0, there's no sunlight range here, right? That still looks derpy. Okay, let's go for something. This does look nice though, even though it's not sunlight range. It does look, I think we need this. Like, we need this sunlight range. Color though, like, what do I do with the ambient color? Let's go for, but the sunlight color still seems too bright, so let's go for something like this. This looks like a pretty rainy weather. Just avoid this, because you can see the light here. Try to avoid this, because there shouldn't really be a light. Put the sunlight color to black. Okay, let's put the sunlight color to black and put it like so. Maybe try to increase the SSAO. Yeah, no. Undo all the changes. It was better before, so SSAO power. It looks like a rainy lighting for now, but we want the particles. Okay, now how would you get the particle? we have to draw one manually. I'm gonna teach you to do just that. First, let's grab ourselves a lightning texture. Lightning. This is what we're looking for, but the image has to be transparent. So when you import the lighting texture in mine-imator, you kind of don't want the background to be there. You kind of just want the lightning. So click the Tools button and go under Color. Now click this transparent thing and you should only be able to get transparent images. So if I click this is a transparent image. If you see the squares in the background, this is transparent. I can put this anywhere. It's just gonna be, you're gonna be able to see through this. So let's save this one because I don't have enough time to be picky. Now we said we're gonna draw ourselves a rain particle. So let's go for mine-imator, open up anything from here. Like, I'm using the newest one, so I'm gonna go for this one. In your mine-imator folder, go under Data, Minecraft, and you'll see this WinRAR zip file. Open it up with WinRAR Archiver. I'm still not sure how to pronounce this. Under Assets, Minecraft, Textures, Particle, and I have this particles.png. Drag it out. It should stay in here, but you also should have it on the desktop. So let's rename this to Raindrops. Why not? Let's open this with Paint.net. Paint.net is a free software for editing images. It supports transparency and it has layers. So it's very good for your needs. Like, you don't have to use Photoshop or anything advanced. Paint.net is a great program. As you see, we have a bunch of particles here, which are normally used in Minecraft or mine-imator, depends on what you're doing. You can see there's a limit. This is one particle, this is the next one. You can kind of imagine it. But still, we don't exactly know where the limit is down here. So what I want to do is draw over existing particles and try to make a raindrop shape. This is extremely ugly. Okay, new plan. I need a higher resolution. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be the area for my particle. Like, I need more space for a nicer raindrop because I'm not capable of drawing one. Let's just go with this. This is pretty simple. This is pretty raindrop-like. Give it like some normal color. Go under the wont and select your raindrop. Go under Effects, Noise, Add Noise. Now color saturation should be put down to 0, and the intensity should be brought down just a little bit or so it gets like some texture in there. Like, this looks nice. If you don't like the looks, go one forward and one backwards. You should get different shapes until you're satisfied with it. Select the pencil tool and go for a white color and decrease the opacity down here. So when you're gonna draw, it's not fully transparent, but it's not fully visible. So you can draw like nice shapes in here. Like, this looks like a water reflection or something. Like, I don't know. Decrease the opacity even more. Make like a thin line here so it looks more reflected, rounded. Go for a black color and also decrease the opacity and just draw some shape at the back here. Try to make it more volumetric. This looks like a nice raindrop, I guess. You could put more effort into this. I'm just making this tutorial, so I kinda wanna be fast. My time here is limited, okay? I don't wanna go over 20 minutes. What I want you to do is add a new particle creator, call it Rain. Open the editor and first select it on timeline so we see where it is. Okay, let's put it in the center of the world and raise it up because rain is gonna be spawning somewhere above the map. Click this open editor thing and make it spawn constantly. 300 per minute is way, it's not enough. So let's raise this up to about 5,000. Destroy the particles after a time after spawn. 2 seconds or maybe 3 seconds, random. 2 to 3 seconds, so doesn't stay on here for too long. And the bounding box is 0. Put this to none, or else the particles are gonna bounce back up. You don't want that. That's not how rain behaves. Spawn them in a region around the creator, and we're gonna make this a box. Scale the Y down, but scale the X and the Z. So now it's gonna spawn the particles in this giant region. Let's adjust this. Particle 1 is going to be kind sprite, but the texture we're gonna use is gonna be bronzed, and we're gonna use this raindrops texture which we had drawn, like this first raindrop thing. Let's just click the first image, and frame width and height can be adjusted. So let's put both to 16, as that's the size of our raindrop. Like, you should see the raindrop appearing in here. So now the only thing left to do is put all the speed to 0 and put the add Y to -6. That's not fast enough. -10 or 11 or so. -18. Yeah, this looks like a functional rain. -21. Adjust the speed as needed. Scale it down just a little bit so they're smaller. Make them spawn more constantly. Like, let's go for 10,000. Where's the rain? Ah, there it is. Maybe go under the rain thing and go for color, brightness. The brightness up. Okay, that's too much. I honestly can't see them. Particle editor. Let's raise this to 4 to 5 seconds, so it can last longer. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Like, you can have this as big as you want and summon as many particles as you want, but I want to scale this down and move the particle creator somewhere here so I can actually see the raindrops spawning, even though there are not many. But look, this looks like a sky, okay? Maybe go for the rain, decrease the brightness. This would be optimal, like to have them dark, but you know what, I kind of want them to be noticed, so let's bring up the brightness a little bit so they're at least a little bit noticeable. I honestly can barely see them. Okay, now the last thing we gotta do is the lightning. So bring in the flat surface, call it lightning. Use the texture and browse for the lightning texture, so lightning texture. So it should be in here. What do you see? Well, you see transparent lighting. So let's go for brightness 100%, and you can click this tab here and adjust the color individually. So let's make it fully bright, maybe a bit bluish. So this is now my lightning. I'm happy with it. Custom rotation point should be +8, so it's now above the whole lightning thing. Or maybe adjust it manually so it's actually where the lightning starts. So this here. So this is now my rotation point. So I want the lightning to spawn. Let's say the lightning should strike at this point. So just move it where you want it to be. So let's go for this. Scale it the way you want it to be. This is way too much. The instant you know this, there's a shadow forming. So go to graphics and tick off cast shadow so it doesn't cast any shadows. Now go 1 frame backwards and put the scale up and put the scale 0. So it's not here, and bam, bam, instantly appears like it's struck down from the sky, like bam. You can also use a very extreme ease out transition so it appears like poof, instantly. Or maybe just use instant, so bam, it actually appears like suddenly, like it's a lightning strike, it's fast and furious. And also you need some lights. Let's add a point light. Let's position the point light in front of the lightning. So it looks like the lightning is the one casting the light. Let's increase the range. This is a pretty powerful one. So let's go 1 frame backwards where the lightning is not there yet and simply scale it down. So the lightning has striked. You want the lightning to slowly fade. So let's go for color, alpha down, and this frame here should have an ease in transition. So it slowly starts applying. So it's like and slowly disappears. This light here should also simply fade back to 0 and have the same transition as the lightning did. So this will look like this. This was a lightning strike in the middle of the thunderstorm, which actually looks like a thunderstorm. It's not too dark, it's not too bright. You even see some rain particles here, which are still too bright. I want to adjust this. If you want to be more dramatic though, animate the mountains. So I want to make a frame here and a frame here because these two don't change. But change this frame in the middle and make it black, or at least very, very dark, 60% or so. Also give this the same transition the lightning did, and now the entire scene will get darker for a second, making it look like the lightning is actually very bright. Also, if you have a camera in here, or let's select the lightning and make it glow. This is now glowing. You see on the camera here? The lightning is slightly glowing, so let's go under the render settings, click this little gear thing, and go under the glow. The glow intensity can be brought up, and the glow radius can be brought up as well. So I want to bring the intensity up, but the radius could be pretty small. So now it looks like a flash of lightning, although it does glitch here because suddenly it's not intense enough for it to glow. So this might not be the solution. Let's click the lighting and make it not glow, but instead add the glow in the camera settings. So the bloom, use the bloom instead. So threshold is gonna be 14, I guess. Radius is gonna be minimal. Intensity can be brought up. Like, look at this. You do have to animate it though, so the threshold could be up here, like at 100, and then bam, drops down to the lightning level, and then as it comes here, the threshold is up again, the intensity is down, the radius could be brought up a little bit. So like, this is something to work with. It does look like it's a lightning strike, but then again, it does kind of corrupt the image here, so I want to bring up the radius just a little bit so it doesn't look pixelated. So look, this is a nice lightning strike in the middle of your rain, which has realistic lighting, clouds, particles, and a lightning strike. So I think I kind of fixed my rain tutorial, which I messed up last time. I have another idea. Background, fog. Show fog color. Fog distance should be closer. Fog size should be bigger. Make it like so. And the custom fog color could be something like this, like something dark and blue. You make it fog size bigger. So now it looks like a rain tutorial. Let's see how it's gonna act with the lightning thing. Like, it's not as bright. You see? See this? Let's put the threshold down, like to 0, radius. Not sure. Now the fog messed it up. Okay, let's undo the whole thing and then let's just... You could use the fog, but then you gotta adjust the bloom. Anyway, you get the idea. This is basically a lightning tutorial, so I'm glad I was at your service. I hope the camera's still working because the battery is very low. So, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support, so thank you guys for supporting the channel, even though I'm not always active and not always present. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, I hope you learned a thing or two. Hit the subscribe button and join my Discord server to suggest more tutorials and to get more of the content that you need. Hopefully I'll have enough time to make them. And that's it. Thank you for watching and stay sharp.